Hello, and welcome to Cam Look, your daily dose of the Cincinnati Art Museum. Each weekday, a staff member or volunteer will be sharing a work of art from the permanent collection here at CAM and posing questions for discussion. So please check back at 10 a.m. every day for your new work and a new conversation. I'm Annie, a docent at the Cincinnati Art Museum. Today, I wanted to talk about the special relationship between a patron and an artist. Specifically, the relationship between Nicholas Longworth and Robert S. Duncanson. Nicholas Longworth is a staunch white abolitionist, and Robert S. Duncanson was a Black renowned landscape painter. Nicholas Longworth was Cincinnati's first millionaire, a successful banker, lawyer, and winemaker whose vineyards were up in Mount Adams, where Cincinnati Art Museum is. Longworth was a strong supporter of local artists, and at the time, Cincinnati was the biggest city in the West, if you can imagine. A city that was called the Athens of the West because of its rich cultural and arts institutions and people. Patrons like Nicholas could see past young artists' race to recognize and foster exceptional talent. So let's take a look quickly at the bust of Nicholas Longworth at the Cincinnati Art Museum by Hiram. How does Longworth's facial expression impact you? What do you think the artist wanted to convey about Longworth? Now let's look at a black and white photograph of Robert S. Duncanson, the self-taught African-American landscape painter. As a free black man in antebellum America, Duncanson was born in 1821 in New York and moved in 1841 to Cincinnati, where he met Nicholas Longworth. In 1850, Longworth commissioned him to create a series of 8 murals for his home, which is now the Taft Museum of Art. And Longworth was so impressed by these murals that he paid and funded Duncanson's first trip to Europe, which is something that an opportunity which an African American really wouldn't have had at the time. What is so unique about this relationship is the timing of everything. Duncanson painted up to and during the Civil War, which started in 1861. This obviously was a time of heavy tensions in the North and the South over what it meant to be an African-American slave in the U.S. With this, let's look at Duncanson's work, Cincinnati from Covington, Kentucky. The date unknown of this painting, but thought to be 1851, which is 10 years before the war began. This painting is based on a daguerreotype, the first publicly available photographic process depicting rural slave-holding state of Kentucky juxtaposed against booming free city of Cincinnati. In the painting, you will see an African-American slave holding a sieve and a black woman hanging laundry, tasks associated with their labors as slaves. Kentucky's agricultural economy contrasts sharply with the bustling industrial city across the river. However, Cincinnati's development came at a cost. The manufacturing prowess of the Queen City depicted in such detail in this painting really depended on the South and the slaves that drive the economy. What do you think when you see this painting? What message might Duncanson be trying to convey in the scenery and the conversation and relationship between the white family and the black man here? Tragically, mental illness ended the artist's career and life in 1872, a circumstance perhaps attributable to lead poisoning, which was found in paint during that time, and also potentially social and personal pressures of his interracial heritage. Ultimately, though, his career was one of much success and accomplishment. I encourage you, when you feel it's safe, to visit and make reservations at the Taft Museum of Art to see his murals, and then at the Cincinnati Art Museum to enjoy some of his works and see the bust of Nicholas Longworth, his wonderful patron. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you learned something new.